Alright guys, we know for a fact that number 2 spark plug, which would be this runner, had a lot of liquid on it, and I knew it went through the turbo housing as well. So this one's probably going to be pretty damn milky when we take it out. Put this away. And you can probably see it in there, it's probably milky.
Yeah.
Well, there goes the whole turbo system. Everything else looks good, every other cylinder. If you get down in there and look, that valve's pretty white. That one's completely black. Those are pretty white. I don't know what that mark is back there. I don't know what that was right here. Pretty white, but I don't think we've been any valves or anything. We were just misfiring. That looks pretty fucking clean. Well, you can see all the oil everywhere. You can tell right there, look at the milkiness. That was going to the turbo. I put some oil into the turbo. Hopefully that'll help. Tear this head off. Now I gotta come over here and take all the timing belt stuff out of the way. That right there, it's done. And now I want to hook this belt. Do all that. I'll probably let the alternator on it for right now, till I know if I'm going to take it off or not. But I'm just going to tear into it. No time to film. I got a lot of shit to do. Alright guys. We have these holes over here in this transmission. But even without them, you have like a little crack that comes through here. Fluid can still get through there. Now, since we have those holes on here, we definitely don't want to get anything in there, because it'll get on our clutch. And once it gets it on our clutch, you know what I mean, there goes our investment there. So, yeah, this hose here is still hooked up. It's out of fluid. Should be out of fluid because you only have your thermostat here, and it has to be open for fluid to travel down through to here. So when you take your water pump off, you got to do it so all the fluid don't go that way. It's time to check it anyway and put a new gasket in it. Sometimes you even want to replace them because you're already messing with the head, especially if you're not. Mine's new, but you don't have to replace them if it ain't bad, but I would recommend it while you're already there. You get yourself a little pan too, so you get everything out of the head before you start taking the head off, and you get the mess all over the front of it, down into your clutch, and yada yada. You just put some air. You can see it's blowing that out. Now, I really didn't want to put that there because I have a hole right here like a dumbass, and I'm squirting probably fluid through that. But looks a little rusty in there on that bolt back there. It's not too bad. I think we are getting a little bit of fluid through that hole, so we want to cover that hole. Should be covering everything up when you're doing this, so you don't get the fluid everywhere anyway, because it's highly corrosive crap. Alright, put that in there. Start the water flow. Do that until there's nothing left. Alright. Alright, as you guys can see, it's got a lot of crap in it. Cleaned it up a lot, but it's got a lot in it. I've been pulling these out, all the studs out, with the washers and everything, you know, with the nuts and the washers. And then we came to this one right here, and it's still got the nut on it and won't come out, right? So, I think right here was our failure. This is the one that felt weird going in. It even feels a little weird, like the threads on this thing. Feels good past this point. But the threads even feel a little weird on it. I don't know, like we didn't tighten them the whole way down with this, but we did tighten them down some. And this felt like it spun when we were torquing it. And that's right here in this one. And this is the one that was wet. That's right beside that cylinder. So I think this is our problem, and it might have been leaking there from the beginning. As I told her, I was like, this stud here just don't feel right. And this stud here, I might order one stud. It just feels weird. Like it catches like right here. I can feel a little catch in it. It's kind of weird. But I think that's why I didn't. I'm going to insert it into here and make sure the threads ain't messed up either after I get the head off. But this stud here, I think I'm going to keep it separate because it feels, I wish you guys can kind of see, watch my finger even like take the shock of it. Right there, it's like, see it catch? Once to spin it, so you won't, see it should be spinning off of there freely. But we'll check the rest of them and we'll go from there, and I'll show you guys definitely the head gasket right here. And I guarantee it's this stud, and I'm not sure if there's something wrong with the threads in the block or not. So we'll find out here in a minute. Alright, here we are. Right now it's looking like we just lifted the head gasket. I mean, you can tell. Head gasket don't want to stay down. That stud, I'm not too sure about yet. I gotta blow that all out, all that shit out of there, and see about that. Put that stud in there and make sure there's not an issue. See, none of these other studs are backing out like that. None of them. That one right there kind of wigs me out because that's the second time it did it. And I'm wondering if I just put too much of the Molly lube on it the last time as well. And what happened was when we pushed it down, it like this right here, a little bit of it squirted out. Eventually lifted this gasket. Hope lifting it. I gotta clean out the cylinder walls here real quick. There's a lot of white shit on it, but I think that's because of the, you know, the coolant was going everywhere. The rod don't look like it's bent. I mean, I can't, you know, I'm obviously don't have the proper tools to sit here and measure the deck height. But going by my trusty eye, it looks to be okay. Now this one, I'm not sure about because this rod looks like it's down the hole deeper than this one, so that might be an issue here. We might have damage in this cylinder after I'm looking at it here, because this one's clearly a little bit higher than this one, I'm pretty sure. So I think we might have some damage here in cylinder 2. Gotta find out yet. I think number 2 might have got some water in it and bent that fucking rod. And it That's what it's almost looking like. Oh shit. Yeah, it looks like something's on the... Yeah, it scored the... Yep. We scored the fucking... Number 2. Number 2 rod only went because the head gasket went, guys. I'm telling you right now. It's bent. We got a bent rod. I don't need to find the fucking socket. Oh, yeah, that feels a little hard to do it. As you guys can see, the rod's bent. Oh, fuck. Oh, yeah, she's scraping. Yeah, everything would have been good, guys, if all that water wouldn't have went in there. When that water went in there, let's put these at top then. There we go, that's top. That's how much we bent number 2. Now, number 2 could have been bent for a little while. I don't know, you know. But it wasn't the last time. I don't think it was. And I'd have to say it's definitely this time. Because normally when you have that much, as you guys can see, look in here even in the runner. Look at that. It's clear up into the runner of the intake going. We're going to have to clean that up, pull the injectors. Probably have to send the injectors out maybe and get them clean. Anybody locally do them that knows me, let me know. But number 2 is definitely a bent. The only reason it bent is because of the hydro locked it. It shut off on us. I had to start it because we got stopped at a stop sign, and when that happened, it bent the rod. Sucks. Definitely sucks. I got another engine out here. I think I might throw that engine in it, the bottom end. I think I might do that and just get the head milled. Bump the pressure up a little bit more because that'd be like, would that be the 3rd or 4th time? 4th time.
Yeah, I think so.
4th time, I think. 3rd or 4th time getting that head milled. That sucks, guys. That's what I was worried about. I don't know what the crank looks like, so I could tear the crank out with the way it sits right now and get everything cleaned up and then pull it out, but better off to put it on the engine stand. I'll just put this one on the engine stand. Thought about doing an OEM build on it, just rebuilding OEM so everything's perfect, and then we can go for that 10-2 record, or 10-2, that 10-second record. And for me, it would be a record for the Tiburon because I have 11.1. I guess anything I do from here on faster than 11.1, I'll keep breaking my own record, but wouldn't mind getting this thing into 10.8s or something. I was just going to throw another stock block in it, which we might just do, but me and the wife might build this one. We might do that. How about it?
Yeah.
Just for something to do. Not powder rods and Wisco piston yet. We're just trying to do, it'd be nice to have 2 engines for next year to try to get that 10-second pass and stay consistent. I think it's very possible, guys. 4 years on this. Only thing that took us out was a head gasket. We're gonna have to get stronger studs. I think I found a solution for the stronger studs. These are 190,000. I can't remember how they rate these. 190,000, and the other ones we could get would you have to flip upside down to use the right pitch for the block, and they're 220,000. So there's a little bit more clamping pressure. These are 60, which you can clamp down to 70, which I wish I would have, because I don't think we would have been dealing with this year. But yeah, we know where we're at now, what we got to do. So next step will be getting the intake manifold off of here and getting it cleaned up, get the fuel rail out of here and everything. Might as well do that. I'm not sure if I'm gonna just put the bottom end out of that other engine over there in it into this or not, because I could literally take everything off of this engine and pick it up off this transmission with the flywheel and the clutch, probably connect it, but probably might be better off to drop it down and try to get it out of here, or take it to a friend. So all I gotta do is hook it right here, or even take it outside and do it, you know what I mean? Take the engine out, the transmission out at the same time or something. Hopefully the crank is still good. It'd be nice if the crank's still good. The rod's definitely bent from that reason. You can even count, it's kind of crooked. That's why it's causing an issue here, because it's even kind of crooked in there. And as I'm trying to, the seal still works good because of the, I mean, the antifreeze was all still sitting in it, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
The ring was still sealing. It's just, but you can tell, I think it's even, this side's a little higher than this side, isn't it?
I think so.
And when we go to crank it, there's definitely an issue because it is very hard for me to crank it. Right there, it kind of like gets stuck, as you guys can see. And it shouldn't do that. It's like stuck. I mean, you can hear the compression still in the engine. We only got screwed over because of the damn head gasket. I don't know what we could do for a stronger solution, guys. I really don't know. Because if you're blowing them if I'm blowing head gaskets like this, guys, and I'm not even making a lot of power, you know, it makes me wonder if we can make any power. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, is it worth building one? Other than maybe, you know, like, I mean, this would suck if this was a built engine, guys. Because all it was a head gasket that took it out, and the head stud, and this head stud might have moved. We put it in there, tightened it up pretty good, and it was good to go. I'm thinking I might have put too much chrome moly on it, and this right here might have been pushed out like right into here, and then the whole time, you know, this got worse and worse. Finally, it was probably leaking in there for quite some time, and then it finally blew it out on that last pull. I don't know though. I really don't know. Just guessing, guys. It's a bummer though. I really thought, honestly, guys, I honestly thought I was going to tear this head off. Like, I thought something bad happened. And then I was like, nah, this engine's fucking like bulletproof. And it is bulletproof, to be honest with you. The fucking head gasket failed us. The ARP head studs and the gasket failed us. And these are like D series style head gaskets, and that's about 500 horsepower. It's about 500 100. It's about all they can take before they start having this same issue. I don't know if we could have these drilled out, guys, and get a bigger stud put in or not. I don't know. We really don't have much clearance. Kind of sucks. Because you hear guys in Korea using the damn factory head bolts up to 600 horse. The factory ones. I've been hearing that recently. These are head studs. They should be able to hold. I'm going to get the upgraded ones. And if we can't hold a whole race season with the upgraded one, guys, I don't know if it's going to be worth the troubles of building one, to be honest with you. Hard buying a transmission. You know, it's starting to... When the transmission is outlasted... The transmissions, we've went through like 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, actually 1. We busted 1 in 4 years. No, 2. 2 in 4 years. And 4 head gaskets. And this is the last one I finally took it out. Normally they leak at the edges. Never in through here. That's what makes me think when me and her put this back together, it was a fuck up here. So it could be all on me that time. Because I even told her, I was like, that slipped. That